and welcome to our 5K Tennis US Open discussion. Today is August 30th, Friday, 2019, and we are on show 119.
Let's go.
119, I have to ask. Hola y bienvenido a otra discusión del abierto del US Open. And I probably messed that up, but that's okay. I'm trying to do it differently. And I'll continue in Spanish. Hoy es el 30 de agosto de 2019 y estamos en el programa 118.
Let's go. Third round has beat. What was that?
I was trying to mix it up. Never mind. Go ahead.
I always say to Carla, and we've mentioned this before. Carla has this Spanish class she's going to be teaching. She Spanish is her indigenous language.
It's my first language.
It's her first language.
Yeah,
so
but I don't practice it much.
She keeps getting kind of tweaked when she has to look at the camera and speak it. So I try to tell her when she teaches a Spanish class upcoming, just be yourself like you're on the tennis court. Like if I took her to South Africa, I say that because of Ivor Savage. What's up, Ivor? YTEX team. But if I took her to South Africa to play tennis, would you be nervous playing tennis over there?
No, I wouldn't.
You wouldn't be nervous. You go out there and whack the ball and do your thing. So why would you be any more nervous than playing or teaching someone Spanish when you did that prior to even learning the game of tennis?
Good question. I don't know.
Just speak freely.
I don't know. I don't. Maybe I won't be nervous. I know there'll be according to Barbara, there'll be 18 people there, so I don't know.
Man, do your thing. Let's go. I mean,
I'll just laugh it off.
You tell me you never played tennis with 200 people watching? I mean, just get down.
I did play a match. I remember South Carolina. It was a challenger tournament, and some of the players that were there, they were playing challengers for a while. They said, "Oh, I can tell she's a rookie. She's nervous." I remember the first ball I hit my braid. And then the ball went over the fence. That was my first practice.
That's what you call the good old off the braid backspin off the back foot forehand, right?
Yeah.
It happens. Totally normal. I've played tournaments with so many people watching. I served my first ball, swing and miss, and shank it off the top of the frame on the second serve, ultimately ending in double fault. We all get it. Don't worry about it. Swing freely, speak freely, get down. Who cares? They're there to see you, to see what you got. Don't think about it that way. You just think about it as, hey, I speak this language, and I'm just going to speak it, and and enjoy it because they will. They'll enjoy it. They'll enjoy it. Let's go. I'd sign up for the class just because I knew you were teaching.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, kind of like you signed up for my tennis coaching class when you were trying to learn to coach, and that's how we met. So you signed up for my class, and what's up now? We got 5 children's, all that stuff. What's up, B-Dog on the children's? But I'm just saying it happens.
I cannot believe you said that.
It just happens, You signed up for my class.
I didn't sign up for your class. I actually send you a message asking you for tips.
Yeah.
But not with the intent of hooking up with him at all. That was not the intent.
Hey, do you think you can help me? I'm trying to do this coaching curriculum. Do you think you can help me with some questions? Take about a 2-hour trip. The rest is history. Let's get down. We were playing on a blacked out tennis court and got ran off by security the first night because I was talking so much smack to her. I was like, I'm going to beat you right now. So we went up to the top of this parking garage in Panama City, right? Mm-hmm. We go up to the top of the parking garage and poach on the court. Like there's no lights on. We found a street light that was barely keeping it visible. And we start hitting balls around. But she chose the side with the street light in her face, so I was just wailing serves in her face. And I was like, what's up? What's up now?
But I was in jeans and
high heels or something?
And wedges and...
So tell me, if you weren't trying to, if you were just trying to get some coaching lessons, that how you gonna show up in jeans and high heels, and I was in tennis gear?
Where? First of all, I'm the one that drove to see you in Montgomery. That's number one because you didn't have the guts. Number two, you came later on to where I lived, and I didn't know we were going to play tennis. It's nighttime. I mean, come on now.
Memories. All right. Anyway,
and I kicked his butt the next day.
She did kick my butt the next day, and she was so aggravated because I slammed balls in her face on night one. She walked up to the net, shook my hand, and was like, "You're rusty," and I was like, "Okay." All right. We're gonna move forward real quick, jumping right into the show. We're gonna try to do this one quickly. We did a show last night after a busy day, and there hasn't been that many matches today. Typical in these majors, it slows down a bit.
Well, they're trying to put, I think, the matches in all the main courts now. So
the night matches.
Yeah, in the night matches. I mean, they have to sell these tickets. So now, the outside courts are more of doubles and juniors who are starting to play.
Shoot, I know earlier today there was standing room only for the McNally Coco Gauff doubles match.
I think they won.
They did. They won.
They won, right?
Yeah, they won.
Yeah.
So real quickly, as usual, we do these majors because we do 2 prize giveaways. One for the fantasy teams that a lot of us play. For the top 2 point winners will receive either a 5K tennis shirt, a YTEX shirt, or YTEX jacket, or 2 sets of YTEX strings of your choice. I'm going to mention the top 3 currently, and these points have only been accumulated through second round completion. So I've already tallied on some points for early third round, as I've just done so, and I think I was just speaking with Jack Nolte and updated him on his points just a moment ago, but again, only through round 2. The top 3 are first place is George Thomas with 50 points. Second place, JMP 1966 with 49 points. And in third place, myself with 46 points. I do think moving forward, there are a lot of people still alive. I mean a lot, like 7 to 8 people, maybe more, that are still alive. However, I do think that JMP 1966, as well as myself, have a little bit of an edge over George Thomas and the rest, because a lot of our players that we have remaining are worth 2 points and not just 1 point. We elected to choose not a lot of the top 20 players, but real quickly, I'm going to run around and show you who I have left in total, and I'll do this quickly, all right? So, hopefully you can see this. I have myself with 49 points. I have Carla here that's still alive with 35. Kenneth Chow with 34. Jack Nolte with 39. Peter Dixtery with 34. Yemi Lade, I think he's in England too, with 37. Wild Live 1 with 38. Hitchhiker with 38. Dean with 35. Barbara Wharton out there hanging on with 35. And she has Goffin, by the way, which no one else has. Flora Moore with 36 points. She's kind of on the outside looking in. She's got a lot out. George Thomas with 50 points. Dusan Dramakanine with 39 points. Dushan Furzio 9 with 39 points. And JMP 1966 with 49 points. He just lost Muchova a little while ago. That was a third round match. We'll get into that. And then Dom R has 37. So I've removed a lot of sheets of paper from that. So if you did not hear your name, it just means that there's absolutely no way you can come back. Either your points are too low, or whoever you have left, we all have as well, which means there's no way you can come back. So right now, again, top 3, myself, JMP 1966, and George Thomas, all right? In 4th place, there's a ton of you. So be ready for the second week, because this is when it gets crazy, all right? Tennis racket giveaway. We've had no other losers or anybody eliminated from the competition other than who we mentioned yesterday. Everyone's still alive outside of that. If you missed yesterday's show and you're unsure if you're on there, just check out the beginning.
Well, today there were no big surprises. There were no big surprises as of yet. I mean, even tonight's matches, I don't think any of us picked these 4 players that have to play tonight on the women's side or the men's side. Maybe Djokovic.
A lot of us picked Djokovic. He's only worth 1 point, so, and all of us have him. No one picked Kopfer or Basilashvili. A few of you
There's no one that's... The only person that could lose tonight that might affect someone's final is Djokovic.
Well, however, a lot of you picked Medvedev. Again, he's 1 point. It's not going to sway any difference. However, I do have Grigor Dimitrov, and I am the only person, except one other, who's been tossed out a while ago because they lost too many people. I have Grigor Dimitrov as well.
He's playing right now.
Yeah, so I have Dimitrov solo at this point, and I have Ostapenko solo at this point. So those 2 players win another round or 2. It's going to be tough for anyone out there to beat me. And I do plan to win this tournament. I plan to win. If I get a win by Ostapenko and I get a win by Dimitrov. Dimitrov tonight, Ostapenko tomorrow, or Dimitrov now.
By the way,
then I should win this tournament.
We were watching that player,
Mashrazrak.
Mashrazrak. I had
the Polish player.
I had his name pronounced right before, but he's actually not a tall guy. He's a small guy.
Well, good for him. I hope he fights well.
Yeah, I didn't expect... That's not what I was expecting to see, but so far it's 5-4. It's on serve.
I hope Dimitrov wins. If Dimitrov gives me a quality win here and Ostapenko tomorrow, then I should be in solo first place of this fantasy team, all right? See what happens. All right, let's jump into topic number 1 of today's show, and let's start this off, Carlo, with Nick Kyrgios. Again, Nick Kyrgios. This is no favoritism to him. Carlo's not a big fan. I am, and we kind of.
But what's right is right. And
what's right is right.
Wrong. So I'm not a big fan, but I do think the guy is talented.
The topic of this segment is what's right is right. So I'm going to lead this in, and I'm going to turn it over to Carla. But right now, Nick Kyrgios is being investigated for his comment a little while ago about the ATP being quote-unquote corrupt and could face suspension for up to 3 years.
3 years and another $100,000 fine.
And another $100,000 fine. First and foremost, we talked about this on the last show about how the ATP as a whole only gives about 15% back to the players of their bring-in money. Okay, if you look at big global brands, Major League Soccer, NFL football, NBA basketball, they give about 50%. So not just 15, but they give back 50, half, to the players. And that's what Nick Kyrgios was insinuating, and yet he's reprimanded for telling the truth. What's right is right, and that's the title of the subject here. Furthermore, he is further picked on for flipping up a collar on the back of his shirt here recently that said, "Just do you." If you are all sneakerheads or Nike fans like I've been, which we can't forget that Nike is an American company, just everything is subletted to China these days. No offense to the Chinese. Go Hong Kong, let's go. Let's go. Keep going. However, the slogan from Nike since I was a boy, since Spike Lee days, right, was "Just do it." You know?
And he put "Just do you."
Just do you. It wasn't him. It was Nike. Put it on the back of his collar and flipped it up.
I think he hadn't. The umpire, They hadn't started the match yet and told him, "You can't have your collar. You can't have those words. That hasn't been approved yet." And he said, "Show me," and the rule book where it says that. Show me. Otherwise, I'm playing. And he did start playing without their consent. Well, it turns out later on, Nike's working out with him to do something. Just do you. I didn't see.
It should be. It's a good. It's
I
a
didn't
good
see
slogan.
what
I
the
get
big deal
it.
was. This. I mean, Serena last year had one that said just logo. It was the Nike thing. It said logo. You know, it was like really big.
Good for her.
What's the big deal? I get it that he's a bad boy, that he's done bad things, but I think that now they're nitpicking here. Like they're just trying to get under his skin and push him out.
Yeah, they're searching for him. They're searching for something. They're nitpicking. They're micromanaging a grown man at this point. Number one, does this sound like some fascism or communism? You know, we're gonna burn all the books, or we're gonna make sure we clear what it says before you wear it. I think Wimbledon is a traditional thing. So Wimbledon looks at make sure you wear all white and just small logos, and that's gone back for 150 years or so, maybe longer. Someone can correct me on that. Maybe Matt Kane can give me some historical background on that. But the U.S. Open, I don't recall any rules or restrictions of certain things or certain knots or have nots to wear on court. Furthermore, in 2019, who in their right mind can just pick and choose what they are without it being on a rule book? In other words, hey, here's Benoit Pierre with the fly collar. Here's fly collar Nishikori with the fly collar. Here's Songa that sometimes comes out with the fly collar.
They're not in the military.
But you're just going to pull Kyrgios right off the bat and say your collar says just do you, and wait, hold up, you can't wear that. That's petty.
They're not in the military. In the military, you follow certain rules. You have to have your hair cut a certain way. You can't have, earrings, tattoos.
Understandably.
That's the military. This is a sport. I mean, football, baseball, basketball, everybody has their own identity. That's his identity. He wants to cut his hair like that. He wants to come out in Jordan shoes. That's his problem.
I like Jordans.
Issues. But the ATP said that the comments made by Kyrgios after his first round match in New York will be assessed under a player major offense provision under ATP rules. A determination will be made by Gail David Brasha, the Executive VP Rules and Competition, following an investigation as required by the ATP. So they're going to investigate it, possibly $100,000 fine, 3-year ban. I mean, my question is, when Serena said, "You're a thief" to the umpire, and he said that they were corrupted, did she get a big fine? Was she banned?
You mentioned Carla Jordans. Number one of my top athletes of all time, regardless of sport, is Jordan. But number two, I love Jordans. Can you tell me what your favorite Jordan shoe was?
I'm not a big Jordan person.
Me, I'm going.
Well, there's one that Jonathan had. Was the black one? He had the white ones, the black ones.
He had the Oreo 4s.
Not the Oreos. I don't like those. You remember?
Oh, he had the.
He had the gold and the black.
He had the Master 12s.
Right, that's what it was.
Master
And he
12s.
had the red ones. I think he had the white ones.
The
and
flu,
the blue
yeah,
and
he
the
had
white
the,
ones.
He had the flu game 12s. He had the cement
those,
4s.
Those would be my favorite.
Me, I'm going the old traditional infrared 6. I remember when I was in like 6th grade, and I saw my first pair of infrared 6. I had a buddy of mine that he was he played some quarterback and some running back for our football team. I was out there trying to throw the football a little bit, and he had this pair of infrared 6s, and I was like, man, I was just, I love those infrared 6s. But I've kind of retreated back into the old retro cement 4s. So I'm a cement 4 guy and an infrared 6 guy. Sorry if I lost some of you on that one, but that's how I roll. Big sneakerhead, love shoes a lot. Only as I've gotten older, I've found that I've had to sell more of my shoes than I can actually wear them. Life, right? All right, so but it's truly nitpicky though. You see Kyrgios and you're automatically trying to pick things out. It's like having a problem child or having a bad student, even though if I was a teacher or a parent, I wouldn't nitpick the one in the first place. But you're trying to find things at this point, you know, and the other ones get away with it. Just Do It or Just Do You has been a Nike logo or a thought for a decade, since I was a boy. So to pick this out is just pathetic.
Not only that, it's New York. The crowd is loud. The colors are, they're different. It's green, it's purple, it's black, it's cat suits, weird hairstyles, grunting, screeching, yelling, whatever. It's New York, really?
Yeah, just pathetic and crazy. By the way, if Nick Kyrgios is suspended for 3 years for what he's done, and Nastasi and McEnroe are not, or can't be grandfathered back to get put in prison for 3 years or
Not only that, they
something.
did drugs while being in the tour, too.
Jeez.
So,
And we say this nonchalantly.
they did drugs while being in the tour. Cocaine and stuff like that. That's pretty major.
It is, we're human beings and we do things. But nonetheless, this guy hasn't really, in my opinion, deserved almost could be $250,000 in fines and a 3-year suspension. I think it's pathetic.
The best thing that...
A little bit, yes, but this is a...
The best thing that...
This is a sport, and it's designed to sell tickets. Be careful. Nike, get involved with this one. If you're a billion-dollar company, get involved with ATP.
I don't think anything will happen.
It shouldn't.
I don't think anything will happen, but the best thing Nick Kyrgios could do for himself is win this tournament.
Yeah, and they get a pair of, Kyrgios infrared 6s, and then ride out.
Again, I'm not a big fan, but I think that they're just...
Now they're just picking on him at this point. Topic number 2 has to do with a fine as well, and that's Carlos Suarez Navarro. And let me, in case you haven't followed the game for a very long time, whatever, a lot of people have come into being fans of the game with the big 3, and that's respectable. But Carlos Suarez Navarro, by the way, has been a veteran on tour for a very long time. Carla, I remember when she was a young little whippersnapper, and we were all like...
the one-handed backhand.
The one-hander, we were like, wow, okay, a Spanish girl, same name, right? So we always had fun with watching Carlos Suarez Navarro and have never seen anything but a professional a setup from her. She did, however, retire from a tournament not terribly long ago with some type of similar...
She retired in Toronto with back injury.
I remember this. So we follow her. You wrote that down. We were on the same brainwave. I texted you a message. You wrote down the same thing, calling at her defense, I'm assuming.
Yeah,
I like
absolutely.
the girl a lot.
I disagree with this fine. $40,000. First prize gets $58,000. So basically, she just made $18,000. She was losing to Timea Babos 6-2 and decided to retire because of her back. I mean, we know this player's never had temper tantrums, never thrown a racket from what I've seen, always been professional, has a pretty decent rankings, been on the tour for a while. Big mistake here. I just think I think they're bored. These guys are bored with the fines.
Yeah, we're trying to give
we're
trying to give cannon fodder to the masses, giving people something to talk about. She should appeal this. Anna Tatilashvili.
She can't appeal it.
She can appeal it. Unfortunately, going through the appellate process, I think, costs you about as much as what you're appealing. But I think the goal is to set the record straight. First of all, in the WTA and ATP rule books, and I can't remember if it's ITF as well or if it's all the same. So I don't want to get too politically correct and be exaggerating or spreading fake news in a way. But there are rules that state if a player retires and they have done so in the previous tournament or two, and I forget the exact loophole there, then they are automatically kind of in the line of fire to be set up for a return of funds. So here we are with Nick Kyrgios talking about these councils are corrupt. These players only get 15% of the money back. Now let's think about this. And I'm going to talk about sports that I follow a lot. Number one, football. Number two, basketball. Those are about the only two that I follow 365 like I do tennis. Obviously, tennis a lot more. But these sports are giving 50% back. And this is provable. Google it up. Look it up on Forbes. Look, whatever you want to do. But the owner-to-player appreciation generally in major global sports is 50% back to the players. What the owners do with their 50%, marketing, their mansions, their castles, whatever, that's on them, but I'm going to retain my players. You have baseball teams, NBA teams, and football teams that have 70 people on an active football team, somewhere around 12 to 15 on an NBA team. I forget the exact amount on the baseball team. I think around 15 or 18 plus pitchers, give or take, and I may be wrong on the numbers, just saying. But most of these athletes are in the tens of millions of dollars a year, if not hundreds of millions of dollars throughout their contract type setups, and a lot of that money guaranteed. In tennis, you got 1,000 or 2,000 or 3,000 people ranked in the world, and unless you're in the top 10, and even some of the top 10 women bounce in and out so quickly, and some of even the latter 8, 9, 10 men bounce in and out so quickly, they're living ever. So remember that. So here we are with Carlos Suarez Navarro, some umpire sitting up in a chair that's probably never been a pro tennis player, a pro athlete outside of studying to be a great umpire, now seems to jump into her skin and say, you know what, your back hurts, or your back may not hurt, rather, and I'm going to take the money from you. Who is in their right mind can get out and tell Carlos Suarez Navarro that she's been a gladiator in the sport for a very long time? Who in their right mind can feel her pain? Who in their right mind can jump inside her spine or whatever her injury was and say that, can you feel my pain?
Did they find Trontegelo, for retiring in this match?
I got a tattoo that says feel my pain. That's what I'm saying. Who can feel your pain? I don't care what your pain is. How did the umpire feel her pain? $40,000 just because you assume she didn't? That's ridiculous. I get it if it was Tomic or Kyrgios before we kind of see the truth to what a lot of Kyrgios is saying. His antics, I get, are not truth. His antics, I get, are not befitting a sportsman or a chivalrous knight. However, is there truth in what he says? Yes. Is it true that the ATP is very corrupt in a sense by what they give back to their players? Absolutely. If it was 50% like every other major sporting outfit, again, I'm going to focus on football and basketball in the United States. That means if you've got a top 1,000 in the world, the top 500 should be pretty good, right? Just saying. And then if I don't make the elite NFL and NBA in the United States, I can go to Europe, I can go to Canada, I can play in China.
You can't do that in tennis.
You can't do that in tennis. It's just one. So if I'm Stephon Marbury, I might not make it for the Knicks, but I can roll over to Beijing and dominate and have people, hey, you're the best thing since sliced bread, and become a king there. But here, you have one entity that is controlling everything. And because someone opens their mouth up about it, and not just Kyrgios, it's many more, such as Pospisil, and the list goes on.
Wawrinka's been very
Wawrinka.
He's been very vocal about it. Tipsarevic has been very vocal about it. Some people even left because of it.
It seems like communism in a sense. Let's strip these people. You didn't play very well. Well, you won't get inside me and tell me how I play. You come down here with your pudgy butt off that chair, and you come play then. See how long you last. It's just shafty. Whatever. All right, topic number 3. Get started on that crookedness.
Topic number 3 is going to be about Roger Federer.
All right, let's roll.
So on the New York Post, there was an article, and I think Wayne Chia sent me a link to it also. Roger Federer furious over perception he gets special U.S. Open treatment.
We've heard that for years.
Well, today,
not just at the U.S. Open.
He played against Evans. It was his match after Evans. Evans was not happy that he played a day match. I guess he wanted to play later. So it was reported that Federer asked to play during the daytime, and Evans said, well, what can he say? He has no say on anything, when he goes to tournaments. That he said basically 4 people can say when they want to play, and that's what they get. I don't know which 4 people he was referring to. I'm guessing one is Djokovic, one is Nadal,
one is Federer,
maybe Serena.
Serena, there you go.
That's my guess. But Federer got pretty upset. I'm so sorry. Federer got upset. He actually used bad words. I was like, wow.
Yeah, he said shit.
He said shit.
He said it, I'm going to say it. Federer was like, I'm so tired of hearing this shit. I've heard this for years at many tournaments. I've heard this, as I can remember, I want to say
He said this is what he said.
I've heard this type of thing since about 2010.
He said I don't remember that I asked for something. Yeah, it may be nice to be out in the sun as well. I don't know. I thought, but I definitely didn't do it intentionally. Federer said, I don't even know if my team asked for the day session. I know there were questions to have preference, but that doesn't mean like Roger asked, Roger gets. Just remember that because I never heard this shit too often now. I'm sick and tired of it. That apparently I call the shots.
Since we're talking a whole lot about shit, I want to say this is just a big shit sandwich. Sometimes when it rains, it pours is a good metaphor. Sometimes I like to say, this is just a shit sandwich. First and foremost, wasn't it last year at the same tournament where everybody was yelling at Roger Federer because he didn't play anything but night matches?
Yeah.
So here we are. He's got a day match.
There's a few viewers that don't make comments anymore because I guess they don't like what we say. But they were complaining how Djokovic.
Who are the viewers? Call them out.
I'm not. That Djokovic got the day matches and Federer got the night matches. Well, here now Federer asking for day.
And Djokovic has night.
And people are still complaining.
But yeah, I didn't mean to say that about that. But last year, this was the argument. Mm-hmm. Last year when we were doing this tournament on this show, everybody was saying because I was a Federer fan, and he's a crybaby and gets what he wants because he's playing only night matches. Now here we are this year, somehow, some way, and it's none of you guys, but here he is playing a day match, and all of a sudden he asked for a day match.
First of all,
now isn't that the pot calling the kettle black?
For Evans to play the night match, it wouldn't have made a difference whether he played during the day or the night.
What difference
would have made? I mean, it would have been better for Federer because he wouldn't have to face one of the hottest days in New York.
Now, furthermore, I'm a supporter of Evans. He's been through his ups and downs, but I think Evans, in his own mind, is trying to fight his way back on tour after a pretty arduous suspension as well.
I'm sure he's struggling as well.
So he's struggling like everybody else and aggravated. And
that's what Federer said. I'm sorry for him. I'm sure that he wanted to play at a later time.
Sure,
I determined this. He's like,
yeah, but
he said, what's the difference between playing 12 or 2 o'clock? There's not much difference.
Yeah. So again, last year, and you can go back to show. We didn't have them broken down, I think, this point last year. But last year, you could find it, U.S. Open discussion, whatever. We talked a bit about this for multiple shows. Here's everybody again yelling at Roger Federer because he's only playing at night. Well, now he's playing in the day, and people are yelling at him now. So what do? Put him in that pre-dawn in the morning or stick him right at dusk when the sun goes down? I don't get it. Stupid argument, more fodder for the masses. Woogas, who cares? Who gives a shit since we're saying it? Mm-hmm. Let's roll. But yeah, I can promise you that it must get frustrating at a point in time. Last year night, now it's day. What do you want me to do?
Right.
Shit sandwich.
Yeah.
All right. I had a quick topic written in here, and this is meant to be quick because we're going to talk about the match anyway. But I just wrote here to myself, Ashley Barty looks really good. She has a lovely game.
She looks really good?
Her game looks really good.
You know that there are many viewers that disagree with you.
Okay.
I've had emails sent to me, Twitter, Facebook messages, on this page, YouTube, how Barty does not look good. Her and Pliskova do not look good in this tournament.
I will disagree with everyone then.
Someone even said that her first round she should have lost. She got away with not losing that round.
Okay, well,
I
she
agree
didn't.
with you guys.
Shoulda, coulda, woulda.
I agree with
but
you
she
guys.
didn't. Shoulda. Well, she should have. You know what? I can look back in time.
Diaz had her. That's right. Diaz had her.
I can look back in time and say, well, I should have won that match, or I should have tried out for that position instead of that one. Here, 20 years later, I'm still talking about shoulda, coulda, woulda. Well, that's bogus.
I can't believe you're saying that she's looked good in this tournament. She's looked shaky.
Can I tell you why?
Okay, go ahead.
Ashley Barty today versus other matches, it showed me her variety was back in a sense.
Okay.
The first 2 rounds, she looked a little lost in a way, kind of like trying to find her way.
Okay.
Her game today, I don't care how it turned out or what you think, I thought it was beautiful in a way. She has a way of reaching out and kind of Justine Henin-esking the one-handed backhand return.
I like her game. I'm not complaining about her game.
When you're playing a player and they're going up the tee pretty routinely on the deuce side, and that can be a problem for any right-handed player on the deuce side hitting the backhand there, especially off a high ball. But she was able to neutralize that by getting up and hitting that beautiful directed slice right through it and putting it right back at the feet of her opponent, therefore neutralizing the point, leveling off the playing field right off the return by hitting that beautiful backhand slice return, chip return, I don't think there's anyone in the game right this moment that has the touch of her backhand one-hander return to neutralize the point when there's a ball served up the tee into the deuce court against a right-handed player. To my knowledge, do we have any other left-handed players in this game on the women's side?
Left-handed? We don't have
on
anyone.
the women's side.
No, there's no left-handed players.
I know we have Nadal on the others and maybe
no,
a
there's no
scattering
left-handed
a few.
players. No.
But the way that Barty is able to offset the up the tee, high backhand kick serve up the middle.
Andreescu can do the same.
Maybe so, but
she can.
But I think right
and
now,
Benchik has good variety.
I think that's a huge tactic. Serve it up the tee on the deuce side to the backhand. Serve it out wide into the ad court to the backhand, and then come in serving volley behind.
I like her game. I'm not saying.
But
I
Barty
like her.
is able to neutralize it
to
give her
game.
time
Yes.
to give herself time to get to the net to get set for the
She
passing
also plays
shot.
Sakari, someone that plays late all the time. So
again, she has the ability to take away the tactical advantage of serving high to the backhand on the deuce and ad courts, neutralizing the point to take away the person coming into the net to put the easy volley away. Tennis 101. Serve high to the backhand, come in behind it. She's able to carry that neutralizer.
Jesus, how much longer are you going to go about carrying the backhand?
Just saying, though. You said she didn't look good. I think
she didn't look good in her last round. Maybe this one she did, but she did play Sakari, and it was a pretty quick match, in my opinion. I mean, the first set she struggled a bit. She broke Sakari, and then she, was able to finish it. I think it was like 7-5 on the first set, and then second set went smooth.
Yeah, it's exactly kind of what happened. But Barty has classic touch. She has classic feel. It was 7-5, 6-3. Yeah, she's a little more patient than I think the rest of the field in her shots.
And her temper is great. She never gets mad.
Yeah, and then when she has a window to take the heavy shot, she'll take it and won't go. And she tends to not overhit it. She tends to hit it with just the right amount of oomph to get it down that lane, to hit her spot and be done with it. I think Barty is going to be dangerous here at this US Open.
I think that Barty will definitely move to round 4. Talking about Barty, we might as well talk about the women's matches today. She beats Sakari in 2 sets, and she will face Qian Wang, who took out Fiona Ferro from France. I think that Barty will move through Qian Wang. I mean, I think she will be in the quarters facing Serena.
I disagree with you there. I think Barty will be in the quarters facing Martic.
I disagree 1,000,000% with you.
I think Martic will beat Serena.
Well, Martic beat Sevastova. I think it was like 6-2, 6-2. I'm not sure because we did not see that match since we were doing a lot of errands, doctor's appointments, etc. 6-4, 6-3, and she will be facing Serena, who took out, and we were saying Muchova, but it's actually Muchova.
Yes, you are correct about that.
Thank you, Dushan. You sent me a message about the CH German names. You said, is she Polish or where's she from? Muchova is actually from the Czech Republic.
Yeah.
And I guess he gave a little explanation about the CH, whereas in Spanish you actually say it's not silence. But
he said like Bach. Like Bach.
Yes, that was a good point. So she will play Serena. I think Serena will win in 2 sets. She didn't have a problem with Muchova today, and she will take Martic in 2 sets as well.
Serena's going to get her first dose of reality.
Of reality.
I'm a big Serena fan, so if you're just new to this channel, you think I'm not.
Serena fan.
I've always been a huge Serena fan. I've taken her.
When you're a Serena fan, how are you going to say Martic is going to beat her?
Because Martic has the potential to be the next top 10 in the world. Serena is on her way out of the top 10 in the world. Martic is extremely athletic.
Let me see. Serena's 37 years old, and
I'm going to shut the shades because I have that sun.
Serena's 37 years old, and she's almost in the second week of the U.S. Open. She's been almost in all the Grand Slams, second week finals. How can you say she's almost out? She is the most consistent player. The most consistent player.
Didn't Martic make a semifinal
at the
French Open final? By the way, I have to make a correction. I mentioned in the last show that Coco Gauff made a semifinal of Wimbledon. It was the 3rd or 4th round. Someone called me out on that. I stand corrected. I was just shooting from the hip like I do a lot.
He does shoot from the hip a lot. Martic lost to Slitovina at Wimbledon, round 16.
What about the French Open?
And the French Open, she made it further, which was she lost to Vondrousova in the quarterfinals. So she's better in clay. She likes the slower surface. I was trying to see at the Australian Open how she did. And she, Australian Open, women's singles. She lost to Stevens in the 3rd round.
I think Petra Martic will beat Serena.
Doubt it.
She's highly athletic. Put it this way.
I'm not saying that she's not.
It will be Serena's toughest match to date in this match.
That's a joke, right? That's a joke.
You're telling me Petra Martic is going to be easier than Muchova or easier than...
The 17-year-old gave her a lot of problems. I don't think that even Martic will give her that many problems.
If Serena thinks that McNally was tough, wait until she meets Martic.
That's funny.
You'll see.
Okay.
Next match.
All right, we had Karolina Pliskova, who won today. She will play Johanna Konta, who defeated Zhang pretty quickly. Pliskova, not really. I mean, it took her 3 sets to get through this match. 3 sets again.
Yeah, that was a shaky one. True. Konta, great win today by a feisty player as well over Zhang.
Or Jabeur, it was 6-1. She won the first set, lost the second one 6-4, and then came through 6-4.
Yeah, big Pliskova fan as well. Konta seems to be on a mission. Coin toss match here. Who you got?
Coin toss. The way Pliskova's been playing, I have no idea where her head is. Konta seems to be playing pretty smoothly. 6-2, 6-3 against Zhang. So I'm not sure.
From what I hear, again, time and time again, this U.S. Open, the courts are playing very slow by a lot of the top players, even
it can't
as
be
slow
that
as
slow.
some of them say it very close to clay slow.
So why are so many clay courters losing?
That's a great question. I'm just telling you what the likes of Roger Federer even said. He said, quote unquote, the court feels dead. That was Roger
Maybe
Federer's
dead,
words.
but I don't think they're slow.
So dead is not a
I mean,
synonym for
I watched
slow?
Serena play and McNally, and they were like, shh, 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 shh. I watched Stevens and the other girl that beat her, Kaliske, and the ball was fast.
Can I ask you a question, Carla?
Oh gosh.
Sometimes I think you're shooting out of the hip. You say Venus.
It's not
You
slow.
say Venus Williams looks like a zombie, right?
Yeah.
Okay, that means dead, right? Zombie, dead, same thing, right? Zombie, you're dead.
Federer is saying that it plays dead because he didn't do good in the first 2 rounds. That's why he's saying that.
She says one thing and it means another. Go figure.
I don't think it's playing slow. Then why won't we have more clay quarters?
Mars, Venus.
Why don't we have more clay quarters winning?
Maybe it's just an excuse, Carlo, but I'm telling you what Roger Federer said.
I don't care what Roger Federer.
He said the courts are extremely dead and they're playing slow.
I don't care what Roger Federer or the King says. I mean, come on now.
So whatever you say goes. So you're the king no matter what? Sounds like my house. Look, she can tell me to go ahead and take out the trash.
Here we go.
I'll go take out the trash. And then she got to tell me something else to do. She'll be like, I told you to do that earlier. I'm like, what are you even talking about? But she swears she said it. See, this is what I'm talking about. It's a double standard.
That's why Federer's in the 4th round, because it's playing so slow. Dimitrov is still in the tournament. I mean, these are players that normally don't do well in clay. Rublev, Kyrgios, Shapovalov. Come on now.
Well, all right, solo scientist Carla. You're a scientist now?
Isner. So, come on, they're not playing slow.
Okay, Dr.
You got
Carla.
Osaka here, who
take,
doesn't like clay.
I'll take your word over it versus Roger Federer.
I'm looking at statistics. I'm looking at results.
I'm glad
results.
you're a statistical analysis machine over
results.
here. Roger Federer says they're slow, but Carla says they're not.
Roger Federer
She's
said
2,000
jump.
miles away.
Roger Federer said jump, guys.
You're right.
Roger Federer said do this, do that.
You're 2,000 miles away. He's standing on the court, but what you say goes?
It doesn't look
I don't
that.
get
It does not look slow.
Totally don't
It doesn't
get it.
look slow. Does it look slow to you guys?
All right, real quickly.
Does it look? Poll question. Write it down. Write it down.
Okay.
37:45.
Hurry up. We're gonna run out of time.
Is the U.S. Open playing slower? Yes or no?
All right. Anyway, she look, people are just going to agree with you because you're a girl. All right, but dude, again, I'm not the only person that said that. I didn't even say it. I'm quoting like 10 other players that I've read or seen on air talk about how slow they are.
Okay, well, later on tonight's matches is going to be Yastremska against Svitlana. That should be a really fun match.
Coin toss, I'm taking Yastremska, though.
Fun match. I'm going to go for Svitlana on this one. Kennan and Keys, another fun match. They just played recently. I'm going to go with the American. Well, they're both American.
Well, yes, but
you know, I kind of look at.
But one's a born and raised American. The one that was a.
No, they're both born.
Oh, that's right, Kennan. So she wasn't like.
No, she just speaks with that accent.
Gotcha.
They're both American.
Okay, so it does not that would matter either way.
I'm going to go for Keys just because I would love to see this girl win a slam, but who knows with her.
All right, men's draw.
Men's draw. Here we go. Today we had. Sorry, I'm out of order here. Here we go. Federer played his match. We talked about this 1 in 3 sets against Evans, and we'll play David Goffin. Or Goffin. I've heard a different pronunciation today for his name.
Goffin. We've always liked David Goffin.
He beats Pablo Carreño Busta.
Great win, but
3 sets.
Busta's no joke,
3
and
sets.
to win it straight, it's good for him. Goffin has been plagued by injuries and freakish ones for a lot of years. There is one fantasy team player, Barbara Wharton, out there. What's up, Barbara? That selected David Goffin on her fantasy team. Unfortunately, I think even if he won the tournament, I don't know if he would be able to catch up, but he could be a saving grace. Possibly, but I don't think so. But nonetheless, great pick. I think Federer will go through Goffin as he usually does, though.
I think so too. Also, Nishikori goes down to Alex de Minaur in 4 sets, 6-2, 6-4, 2-6, 6-3. No 5 sets. Goes down. Good to see this youngster. He's a young guy. He got Hewitt on his side, and he won. And he will either face Dimitrov or Mashrazak.
The lucky loser guy.
The lucky loser. But Dimitrov is up 7-5, 3-1, and serving.
Let's go.
So he might face. If he faced Dimitrov, what chances do you give Alex de Minaur?
A good chance, because de Minaur is good.
Me too. I give him a great chance to win.
Yeah, de Minaur's been involved in the next gen cheesiness for a very long time. I won't get off on my rant about how cheesy the next gen stuff is. Just so you know, my thought in a nutshell, and literally a nutshell, I have a huge ranting thought process, is that the next gen was created or manifested because no one could ever beat Federer, Nadal, Djokovic, and at this point in time when it really first started being a thought, Murray was in there. If that goes to show you the kind of the contrast between those guys, and Murray was kind of just a barrier. He wasn't even those guys. But then they created this deal. Once the big three go away, it's my inclination or my assumption that the next gen thing will go away, because why would you even need it? You're going to have a women's side, kind of in a sense, where players are going to be moving up and down. There is no dominant player right now. There is no Tsitsipas isn't going to stay number 1 in the world forever if he ever gets there, or the likes of Tiafoe's or the Kyrgios. They're going to be shifting and moving, and so maybe another big three come along, but I don't think so. Hence the cheesiness of the corruptness of the powers to be. They want to make money off more players, but you know there's 3, and hey, there's more players out there. Let's make money off of them too. But I would have a feeling that will go away or lose its importance after the big 3 go away.
Sure.
Just saying.
All right, Stan the Man. Wawrinka moves through in 3 sets against Pablo Lorenzi. 6-4, 7-6, 7-6. This was a lot of grunting on Lorenzi's side. We saw Wawrinka throw a racket that almost hit one of the chair linesmen. Yeah, that was pretty close. If that would have hit that person, he would have probably been disqualified, right?
Yeah,
that was close. I don't know why he threw the racket when he was still up a break.
It's quite humbling sometimes when we think about how quick life can turn upside down on us. Let's think about things where life turns upside down because we just react real quick out of anger. Car wrecks. Anybody ever gotten angry and ran their car into a tree, hurting someone, and then just
I've thrown stuff that now they say, oh my god, I can't believe I hit that, and it was an accident. Didn't even think.
Total accident. Didn't even mean to do it. Got frustrated. Here you throw something, or you got your car, or gee whiz. I've heard stories of young children in a sense. Mom or dad's got some type of hand firearm laying around, or some shotgun or something. Gee whiz, I don't even want to think about it. And they get angry and pick it up, and next thing you know, someone loses their life. These type of things are a good metaphor for what Wawrinka did, and let's look at players like David Nalbandian that did something similar. What happened today, though, was that Wawrinka got upset playing Lorenzi, and he kind of chunked his racket, it skidded off the ground, kind of jumped up and almost hit a line judge. Luckily, it did not hit him, because if I remember correctly, if your racket, if you sling it, touches anyone, it's immediate disqualification, right?
It is, yes.
It's an immediate disqualification.
That's what even the commentators were saying.
So there was no need for it. So just frustration could have cost Wawrinka if it would have been another inch or two the entire tournament, and the ranking he's trying to reestablish. The ranking he's trying to reestablish for himself. How, I ask all of you, can this type of knee-jerk reaction and life kind of relate to just an absolute tragedy on the roads or in someone's home, etc.? Think before you act. This was a subpar act by Wawrinka to sling the racket. I know a lot of people smash rackets, blam, blam, but I think I would rather see Kyrgios walk off the court into a hallway and smash a couple of rackets privately than watch someone sling it across the court and almost hit an umpire. Wawrinka got lucky not to lose his entire U.S. Open chances right there.
Yes, definitely. Currently on the court, Bashvili is down to Kupfer, 6-3. Kupfer won the first set 6-3, and Bashvili is up on the second one, 4-1. Whoever wins from there will face off against either Lopez or Medvedev. Wawrinka is waiting the winner for Djokovic and Kudla. I'm very interested to see how Djokovic will do tonight. I did watch his interview, his after-match interview, saying that his shoulder was hurting him. It was painful. He's been dealing with, a lot of pain. and he hopes to play well. So we'll see what happens here if Kula can push him, because I think Wawrinka will be tough.
Again, I don't believe any of the
I don't
shoulder
believe
stuff.
it either, but
I don't believe not 1 minute of it. Not at all.
I believe it to a point, but I don't think that it's that bad. If it's that bad, you're like, shoulder pain is bad. When you have shoulder pain, you can't even serve.
I've had 3 different shoulder
can't even
surgeries.
serve.
3 of them. 3. So I've been there and done that. If it's that bad, you cannot play.
You can't even toss the ball and reach up. You just can't do it.
Yeah, labrum, partial labrum,
can't do it.
supraspinatus 3 times.
You can't.
You can't play through it. You are
You'd
forced.
have to have superpowers to be.
You're forced to serve underhanded. You're forced to. You can't. You can do it, and once the pain and swelling starts in, then you're too swollen in a sense to do it. You just can't.
If I were cool, I'd bring him to the net and lob him, see what happens.
I think there
a few times.
I think there will be some looks and some theatrics behind to keep it.
He did say, Justin, that he knew that he could call the trainer, and he did what he had to do.
Yeah.
And use that to his advantage.
To slow his opponent down.
He didn't say slow, but he said he did use that.
So he basically admitted to what I said yesterday that everybody slammed me upon then. We don't have timeouts like in football and basketball. We can't say, hey, ref, timeout real quick. Let's ice the kicker.
He didn't say I used it to time him out, but he said I used what I could use.
You use what you can use when you want to ice the kicker. And that's a metaphor for, hey, this guy is pushing his limits. Let me cool this guy down. Let me take a 5-minute break. But wait a minute, I don't have timeouts. Let me talk about my shoulder. Unfortunately, I've been through it 3 times surgically. Rehab, PT, the whole bit, the whole recovery, rehabilitation, been through it 3 times. Don't need to hear about it. If it was really that bad, he could not play. He'd already be withdrawn, number 1. Number 2, Djokovic could play at 20% and still beat Kudla. Just saying.
But he can't play at 20% to play Wawrinka.
No, but I think he'll be playing at 100% when he plays Wawrinka with no problem.
Exactly. We'll see him serving just as hard.
So, he'll keep it in the limelight. My shoulders bother me a little bit tonight versus Kudla, and then, he might gripe about it a little bit if he plays Wawrinka and loses, but if he wins, his shoulder will be just fine.
All right, tomorrow we have some interesting matches. We have John Isner. We're going to talk about tomorrow's matches.
Okay.
John Isner is your 14th seed from the USA. He will face Marin Cilic, the 22 seed from Croatia. John Isner, 34. Marin Cilic, 30 years old. So they're close in age. Their head-to-head is 3-8. The last time Isner beat him was in 2018 at the Miami Masters. And Cilic, the last time he beat him was in 2008 at the ATP Finals.
I wouldn't bet on that match.
I wouldn't.
Wouldn't
It's a
bet
coin
on
toss.
It's
Where's the coin? I need a coin.
Look, if this match was anywhere but in the U.S., I would say go with Cilic.
Yeah. But Cilic has not been Cilic.
Cilic has not been Cilic.
Since he won the U.S. Open.
Hence
He's
his ranking.
been so injured. He's just dealt with a lot.
And I don't think has Isner even lost a set this entire tournament?
I'm shocked he's even this far.
Has he lost a set? Anyway, you have to look that up. We'll move forward because I want to beat it before an hour. So
but I'm shocked. I had him losing in the first round. Honestly,
He's
I
still
thought
alive.
Screw would have beat him, but that didn't happen. Next match is interesting matches. Gael Monfils, the 13th seed from France, will face off the young boy Denis Shapovalov, 33 seed from Canada. They've never played each other. This should be a fun match.
So should Rublev and Kyrgios.
I was getting to that. Can I get to that?
Oh, I'm sorry. We just have to beat an hour.
Next match is Andrei Rublev and Kyrgios, the 28th seed. The last time they played was in 2018 Moscow. 3 sets, Kyrgios won. That's it. That's the most exciting match tomorrow on the men's side.
Monfils Shapovalov, I think, will be very good. Isner Cilic, good. I don't know if I would, waste.
Out of the rest, Chung Nadal. Chung is going to be tired from playing 75 sets. Let's go on to the women's. Carolina Wozniacki, the 19th seed from Denmark, is going to face Bianca Andreescu from Canada. Andreescu beat her 1 time in 2019 Auckland, 6-4, 6-4. I think it should be an interesting match.
I look forward to that, I think, the most.
Yeah, you've got Patriman Putintseva, who will face off Vekic also. Vekic has beaten her 3 times. Putintseva, none. Last time they played was at Eastbourne, 2018.
Obviously, we have Naomi Osaka and Coco Gauff.
They're not playing tomorrow. Are they?
Well, they're playing.
Are they playing tomorrow?
No.
Yes, they might be playing tomorrow. Yes, they just see that for some reason
because of the rain.
They are playing tomorrow.
Okay. So that
should be a. I still think Osaka will. I think it's so hyped up, just like Sharapova and Serena, that it will be quick, in my opinion.
I think Osaka is gonna cruise through this one. I think Osaka will turn it up. Kontaveit Bencic, I'm looking forward to. Wozniacki Andreescu. Of course, I'm looking forward to Ostapenko as well, who could really help me win this fantasy group this year at the U.S. Open. All right? Yeah, I wrote here about Wawrinka's racket. We already talked about that, which leaves us to the last part of the show.
Okay.
You ready to go?
Yep.
12 rapid-fire questions. Here we go. I'm going to ask 12 questions. Play along at home. Just type your answers when you hear them, but you must do it quickly. You can't think about it, don't ponder it. Just type it and go. So here we go. Question number 1. Are you ready? Mm-hmm. Carla, here we go. Serena Williams versus Petra Martic. Who do you pick?
Serena. That's not even a good question for me.
I'm going with Petra Martic tomorrow. And yes, I'm a Serena fan, so don't hate. True or false? I have never in my life seen a women's doubles first round match, especially women's doubles. Well, even men's doubles for that matter. I've never in my life, let me even rephrase that to make it more. Let me finish the question. You're saying I have. You haven't even let me finish the question.
I know you're going to ask already.
I personally, and again, I've gone to huge tournaments since I was a boy, have never seen a women's doubles first round match completely sold out with people hanging over the barriers and watching from Arthur Ashe Stadium 5 courts away to watch a first round doubles match in my life. Men's or women's, but especially women's. True or false?
I think that's false. I think Venus and Serena, we've seen that the same thing. When they played together, the first time they played together, everybody wanted to see them.
I'd love to see the comparison on tape.
Let's go back. Let's rewind when they first did a doubles.
I was watching them when they had beads in their hair too, and everybody knows Serena was.
I met him before that, Justin. So, anyways, you keep talking about you were watching them with the beads. Everybody watched them when they were wearing beads.
There's no way that Serena and Venus in their first doubles match had an Arthur Ashe Stadium people
I don't feel like fighting
spectating
today. It was definitely a big crowd. It was fun to watch, and they won.
If you
anyways, next question.
The U.S. Open didn't even have near the amount of attendance as they do now. So how could that even happen?
But it's still a small court, Justin.
Oh, jeez. Tell you what, she gets on this deal and she's right, and if not, then she's still right. Even if she's
remember
wrong.
when
there's
the
no
two
way, and I even
sisters,
heard the commentators saying the same thing.
I remember when the two
You're
sisters first played. I'm not saying now. When they first played, it was huge.
All right. The crowd then beat the crowd now. I don't understand that one. I thought that was an easy, true question.
Okay, whatever.
Anyway, Venus, Mars, go figure. Don't worry about it. I live with it. It's how I roll. All right.
Let's bring the kid down. Let's ask him.
Question number 3. College football starts tomorrow. Are you excited?
No.
I am. Let's go.
Who cares?
Shoot, I can't wait.
Who cares?
Question number 4. Carly Lloyd, the female soccer player.
Yes.
Our U.S. female soccer player, may have what it takes to play in the NFL, the National Football League, as a field goal kicker. Should she go for it?
Nothing to lose, sure.
I say get it done.
Yeah.
So I was reading an article, I've been kind of following this. I read an article about someone saying, well, she shouldn't even go for it because she can't tackle people. Look, I had to call that sexist and ridiculous right off the get-go. Because I can name a whole bunch of field goal kickers currently, right now, and veterans that are Hall of Famers that would run off the field after they kick the ball. So doesn't that seem a little odd? Hey, let's recruit this guy from this college, or let's sign him off of a trade for this guy. We got to have that kicker when they run off the field being a dude. But yet, here's a girl that wants to try out, and you say that they can't tackle.
No, they don't want the girl there, obviously.
We don't even ask guy field goal kickers if they can tackle. Most of them come from the ranks of soccer anyway, or rugby, or whatever. Jeez, it makes no sense. We don't even ask male kickers if they can tackle. But here comes a girl. Can she tackle? What are you talking about? Question number 5. Would you ever let a self-driving, self-thinking car that drove along with zero human interaction drive you anywhere?
No.
Question number 6. Do the Los Angeles Lakers have a better chance of winning the championships next year by signing Dwight Howard? You don't even know what I'm talking about, do you?
Dwight Howard came from who? The Heat?
Well, he's been kind of traded all over the place.
He was at the Heat. He played with LeBron before, yes?
No, he's played with Memphis.
Okay, I don't know, and I don't care.
He played with Orlando, and he's played with the Lakers before. But he didn't work out too well. But anyway, veteran center, big man. Can he help the Lakers? I think so. I think right now in this chapter of Dwight's life, I think he can. Question number 7. Should Stanislaus Wawrinka receive some type of fine for his racket toss that almost hit a line judge today?
Yes.
I agree. Luckily it missed, but he should be. If Kyrgios is getting fined $100,000 for saying the ATP's corrupt, this guy about took a, and I say this guy, Wawrinka's a great guy. But, well, I don't know. Him and Vekic might have different thoughts on that one. Anyway, I think so. Question number 8. Why do I get a feeling you're like going, rah, 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 and rolling your eyes and all this stuff? Why do I get the feeling?
My hands are right here.
Yeah, I'm going to find out. I'm going to watch this.
Oh,
I'm going to watch this. Usually I don't. I'm going to watch this one. Let me find out. Tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to get down. So I'm going to... Question number 8. I know you're over there like, me. I already know. Question number 8. I can feel it. I can feel the negative energy in my ear. True or false? Question number 8. Nick Kyrgios has the worst haircut ever.
Yes. Horrible.
Question number...
Looks like someone just went... This is horrible.
Yeah, it looks like he got his head stuck in like an inverted garbage disposal. Like if
and
he got...
just went...
Well, like if he was like a werewolf and his whole hair was covered in... His whole body was covered in hair and you stuck him in a human garbage disposal and it shaved everything off and then finally it got stuck.
Except the top.
And it got stuck so he went down... It got clogged and left his hair sticking out. They pulled him back out. That's what was left. Inverted disposal cut.
Oh, wow.
ID. Inverted disposal. Let's go. You know, go to the barbershop. Let me get an ID. What's that? The inverted disposal, dog? Come on, man. See them Kyrgios? Got the inverted disposal. All right, question number 8. Oh, that was it. Okay, question number 9. Choose one. Life before smartphones? I almost stumbled on that one. Choose one. Life before smartphones or life after smartphones?
Before.
Me too. Going before. People
it was safer to drive.
Safer to drive. People were much more involved interpersonally. Now you walk up to people and you shake their hand and they're like,
well, not only
no
that,
eye contact.
You know, before back in the days, you can like go get a job and talk to people. Now you can't. I remember when I used to like do lessons before him. A few lessons I did, just very few. They would actually like contact me. They would call me on the phone. Now they text me. I have no idea if they're serious or not.
Yeah, and then sometimes now you'll get this scam where, hey, my son wants to come by text or something. My son wants to come from Antarctica to train with you for 3 months. I'll send you a check for $20,000, and then when you cash it, just call me and I'll tell you what I want their schedule to be. Man, that scam was around when I was a rookie coach in my 20s. And they used to do it by mail and check, and you get some rookie coach. I'd be like, oh, look at this. I got my first coaching jig. It's $20, $20,000. You go put it in your bank account. They actually cash it a day later. You send money to someone for plane travels, and then you realize their check bounced, and then you're just totally screwed. We got that not terribly long ago. We were like, ha, 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 this guy's still trying this.
Yeah.
Anyway.
It's almost like that email they send you from Gumbaya. I need help, dear sir. I need donation for 20,000 or whatever, 30,000 or $1 million. I always send them a response back like, get a job.
Yeah, I need an air compressor on my AC compressor on my car. Donate to that. All right. Anyway, question number 10. Question number 10. If Grigor Dimitrov wins tonight or right now, and Helena Ostapenko wins tomorrow, I think I have a great chance of winning our fantasy team competition. So true or false?
I don't know.
If I finish in the top 2, should I remove myself from the competition and still give the top 2 point accumulators prizes either way?
Yeah, I mean, of course.
Of course I'm going to do that. Even if I win it, I definitely am still going to give the top 2 besides myself prizes. Question number 11, this leads into, if I do win though, do any of you think that there will be a smack talk element on my part when it's all said and done?
Yeah, we can give them this, the asshole badge.
Yeah, asshole merit badge. Let's go. Come on. Wear it proudly. What's that Eminem song? I take my press and I wear it proudly. What is that, Chris? Oh, I don't know. There you go. There you go. If you can think of it, I'll say it again. All right. Question number 12 and final question. True or false? Rafael Nadal states that the crowd in New York at the U.S. Open is too loud. Should he just stop whining?
He should stop whining. He should stop whining. It's New York. Come on now. New York, you got the planes. You got the different people. You got the grunting. The train. Yeah, it's New York.
Yeah, you can't tell me in all the matches he loves to win. Barcelona, Madrid, Monte Carlo, the French Open.
Aren't they loud at the
Davis
French
Cup,
Open?
Laver Cup. They're acting like it's soccer. Oh, But yet here's a tournament that's not always on his best side, and all of a sudden he wants the crowd to shut up. I don't get that one. Just stick with your water bottles and stick with your butt picking, and you'll be cool. Stick with the hair plugs and the bald head, but you can stop whining about the crowd in New York because you just got to deal with that. That's why it is New York. Let's go. I agree with you, Carla. That is true.
You
Nadal.
just went all that Nadal there.
That's all right. He picks his butt. He's got hair plugs.
He picks his butt because he's got a butt. His underwear probably gets under there. Number 2, I can't say anything about his hair. Number 3, he shouldn't complain.
It's New York.
But
dog.
number 4, he's in the dog.
We play tennis till 2 a.m. here. Come on. All right, everyone, that's it. Much love to all of you. Thanks so much to YTEX for helping us out with the prize giveaways. We will see you tomorrow. We may have Carla's dad on the show on Monday, as well as Dave Raines potentially tomorrow. We'll see how that unfolds, but we will see you tomorrow. And until then,
Adios.